Welcome back to our wonderful channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment, friends. Let's go to today's story. My fiance promised me everything and ran away with my friend. Years later they got shocked when realize I was madly in love with Jake. We had been together for 4 years, and when he finally proposed, I thought my life was perfect. He promised me everything: love, loyalty, a future together. I had no reason to doubt him. After all, we had been through so much together. Through my toughest days, he had been my rock. Or so I believed. And then there was Lisa, my best friend since childhood. We were inseparable, the kind of friends who finished each other's sentences. I shared everything with her, including my excitement about my upcoming wedding. She was supposed to be my maid of honor, the one standing by my side as I stepped into a new chapter of my life. If someone had told me she would betray me in the worst possible way, I would have laughed in their face. The betrayal started subtly, so much so that I didn't see it coming. Jake started canceling dates, saying he was busy with work. Lisa became distant, always making excuses to miss our usual girls' nights. When I confronted her, she assured me that everything was fine and that she was just dealing with personal issues. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She had been my best friend for years. But then, just 2 months before our wedding, they both disappeared. No calls, no messages, nothing. One moment, I was planning the happiest day of my life, and the next, I was left standing in the wreckage of my shattered dreams. My heart broke into a million pieces when I found out the truth: Jake and Lisa had run away together. They hadn't just betrayed me, they had humiliated me. The people I loved most had destroyed me in the cruelest way imaginable. I spiraled into despair. I barely ate, barely slept. My days were a blur of tears and self-doubt. How could I have been so blind? How could I have trusted them? The pain was unbearable, but somehow, I forced myself to move forward. I focused on my career, channeling all my heartbreak into building something for myself. It wasn't easy, but slowly, I regained my confidence. I refused to let their betrayal define me. Years passed, and I became a successful businesswoman. I built a thriving company, proving to myself and the world that I didn't need anyone to complete me. My past no longer haunted me the way it once did, but I never forgot. Some wounds never fully heal. Then, one evening, I was invited to a high-profile gala. It was an event filled with influential people, and I attended it with pride. As I mingled, I suddenly froze. Across the room, I saw them, Jake and Lisa. But they weren't the glamorous, happy couple I had once imagined them to be. Jake looked worn down, his suit slightly ill-fitted as if he had lost weight from stress. Lisa's once radiant beauty had dulled, her eyes lacking the spark they once had. They weren't the power couple they had envisioned. They were two broken people. Curiosity got the better of me, and I discreetly asked around. I learned that after stealing money from his company to fund their escape, Jake had lost everything in a bad investment. Lisa had stayed with him as long as the money lasted, but when things went south, she left him. Now, they were both struggling, trying to keep up appearances in a world that had moved on without them. I knew the moment Jake spotted me. His eyes widened in shock, then quickly shifted to regret. He made his way toward me, desperation written all over his face. "Hey, can we talk?" he asked, his voice filled with something that almost sounded like shame. I simply smiled, feeling nothing but satisfaction. "There's nothing left to say, Jake." Lisa approached as well, stammering, We never meant to hurt you." I looked at them, the people who had once shattered me, and felt nothing. No anger, no sadness. Just peace. "You did hurt me," I said. "But you also made me stronger." And with that, I turned my back on them and walked away. Because the best revenge isn't anger or bitterness, it's success. And I had won. Karma had done its job. And I was finally free. But my story didn't end there. Over the next few weeks, I found myself reflecting on the past. I had moved on, but there was a part of me that wanted to understand why they had done what they did. Was it greed? Was it lust? Or was there something more? I decided to dig deeper, not for closure, I had already achieved that, but out of curiosity. I reached out to old acquaintances, people who had known Jake and Lisa in the years after they left. What I uncovered shocked me. Jake had never truly been happy with Lisa. Their relationship had been built on deception, and as soon as the initial thrill faded, they had started resenting each other. Lisa had been miserable, too. She had realized too late that she had given up a lifelong friendship for a fleeting romance. The irony of it all was almost laughable. One day, I ran into Lisa at a cafe. She looked worn down, exhausted from life's struggles. She hesitated before approaching me. "Can we talk?" she asked hesitantly. I considered it for a moment before nodding. We sat down, and for the first time in years, we spoke, not as friends, but as two people who had been through a storm and survived. Lisa admitted everything. She confessed that she had always envied me, my confidence, my career, my ability to make things happen. She had fallen for Jake because he had promised her the same things he had once promised me. But it had all been a lie. In the end, she lost everything. For the first time, I felt a twinge of pity for her. Not enough to let her back into my life, but enough to wish her well. As I left the cafe that day, I felt a sense of closure I hadn't realized I needed. I had moved on, not just physically but emotionally. And that, I realized, was the greatest victory of all. Please subscribe to our channel for more stories, like and comment.